If you've ever played on a server that has shops, you probably encountered this common issue. Shops are active at the beginning, but as players stop playing as much or end up leaving the server, the old shops are abandoned, so you end up with shops like these, where there used to be a lot of items for sale, but now they're mostly empty. But now there's a mod that will try to solve that problem. Introducing Create Rent-A-Plate. The idea is that instead of a shop district with shops, you would instead fill the shop district with warp plates that can then be rented for a period of time. If no player renews the warp plate, then it can be rented by another player. So how does it work? To place a warp plate, you need to be an admin or operator and preferably be in creative mode. And then you can search for warp and you'll find the warp plate here as Create Rent-A-Plate. And when you have this in your hand, you'll then be able to place it down on the ground, like so. And then you can right click here to rent this warp plate. I've changed this from the default of 1 emerald to 10 bevels from numismatics, but you could set it to anything. So this is configurable in the configuration file. And if I want to rent this plate, I just put in the bevel. And then I give this a name like shop, for example. And then I click rent. And you can now see that the name shop has appeared above the plate, just like so. And if we right click again here, you can see rent warp plate. This warp plate expires in 29 days or about 30 days. And you can renew it 5 days before it expires. So you can put in some bevel here and click renew, but only 5 days before it expires. This allows players to hold on to the same warp plate that they hired from the beginning. Once you rent the warp plate, you'll get a return plate like I have in my inventory here. So you can see return plate shop. And if I hop over here, for example, we can place down the return plate here. Now, since I'm in creative mode, I'll be able to hold on to this plate, but now we can walk on this plate and we get teleported to our shop plate. And then we can get teleported back. So the idea is that you would probably have this plate here in a shop, for example. So I built a little example shop over here, which could be used. So here, for example, I've set up a shop and here's my shop plate. And you can now teleport from our spawn to my shop here, where people can make purchases, and then they'll be teleported back, just like so. And if I'm in survival mode now, even if I'm an operator, I can't remove the original plate. These are stuck here unless you're in creative mode. However, since I own the other plate, and I own this plate, now that I've rented this, in survival mode, I can use my pickaxe, like so, to pick up the plate. You can now see that I have a return plate here, and I could place it on the opposite side of my shop and teleport back. So now I've changed the position of the warp plate, and now I've changed the position of the warp plate here, so that can also be done. And if I go back into creative mode, just like so, then you can see if I were to delete this warp plate like that, then we go over to the shop, you'll see that the other warp plate has been removed. This mod is available for Fabric 1.20.1 and can be downloaded via CurseForge. I will be sure to add a link in the description down below. Will you be using this mod? I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback in the comments down below. Maybe there are use cases that I haven't thought of or some simple features that could be added. I personally plan to use this mod for my upcoming Patreon server, Gearworks SMP, which will be launching in the next few weeks. I got many more videos planned, so stay tuned and make sure to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.